Last year, I think I noticed each seedling container being sold for $4 each. So, if I want to plant 10 tomato plants, it would cost me $40 plus taxes. Personally, I think I grow more than 100 plants every year, so that would be at least $400 to me. Buying seedlings is definitely not in my budget. If I buy seeds and seed starting supply all from scratch, I think it would still be way below $400, and I will be able to reuse the seed starting supply for many years to come. So today, I am going to list garden supplies that you need to start seeds and that I personally use. Nothing fancy, just the bare minimum. You'll need something to plant seeds in. There are seed modules, and there are a lot of budget friendly alternatives. Personally, I use both. For crops like kale, chard, or lettuce, where I know I will start a lot of them, I prefer to sow them in large batch, like in this shallow container. You can use a milk jug, just cut it in half, poke some holes in the bottom, and use it. Then, at transplanting time, I just gently pull the plants away from each other. This thriving garden is proof that this method works well. For crops like tomatoes, peppers, broccoli, etc., I plant a limited number of plants for them. So I prefer seed modules like this one or party cups because these plants will be indoors longer than the kales and chards. They need their own space which should be large enough for them to grow. I will link some seed trays in description. But truly, there are a lot of options as long as you have a drainage hole to let the water seep out. When you buy seed modules, they usually come with a tray, which is very useful to catch water and to water the seedlings from bottom. If you use DIY containers, buy a cheap shoe tray or an aluminum pan would do as well to keep the seedlings in it. You need a potting mix to start seeds. There are many available in stores, but they are expensive. You can make your own, which will be much more cost effective. Remember that the potting mix has to be fine in texture to help the seedlings take root. Do not add fertilizer because that can burn the seedlings or cause the seeds to rot. Also, this mix has to drain well. Very important. I will link in description the video for the potting mix recipe I use. Alright, you've got your seed trays and soil, but now you need light. Seedlings need bright, direct light to thrive. A south facing window is great, but trust me, your seedlings will get leggy. Do not spend too much on plant lights because shop lights will do. You just need to pick the right lumen. Mine are at 4000 Kelvin and I have been using it for past 3 years I guess. And it works well. My seedlings grow well and I get a thriving garden out of it. This is the proof that shop lights work for seedlings and you don't need to spend too much on the fancy ones. Again, I have a video about it, linked in description for you to check more details. I think I will put all these videos in a playlist and link it at the end so that it is easy to find it all in one place. Set your grow light just a few inches above your plants to help them stretch towards the light. It will make a huge difference in how they grow. I have my grow light set up in garage. It is easier for me to access. I would highly recommend to get a desktop fan like this one. What happens for indoor plants is there is no breeze or wind, so these seedlings need to be accustomed to it somehow. The desktop fan provides enough strong airflow for these seedlings to strengthen their stem. So when we transplant these outside, at least they won't break off if there is a storm with strong wind. You can skip the fan if you can just move your hand on top of the seedlings every other day to help them strengthen their stem. There is a high chance that you will grow fungus gnat along with your seedlings. Fungus gnats are these tiny bugs that do bite us humans. Their eggs are already there in the potting mix and you cannot filter it out. So once they get some moisture, they start to hatch. You can kill them by mixing boiling water into your potting mix. Just don't plant your seeds right after that. Let the soil mix cool down and then plant seeds in it. I do this hot water method if I have time. If not, here is my backup plan to deal with fungus knots. I also use these bug zappers, and even fly ribbons work very well to keep their population in control. A small watering can that they sell for kids is very useful with seed trays. It is not a must have, but I find it helpful when I have to reach to the trays in the back or water certain seed trays, but not all the seed trays. Usually, the seed tray modules are so small, so the small spout of these cans helps to avoid spillovers. The last one on my list is something you will need a month or two after starting the seeds. It is a cold frame which will help harden off the seedlings outside while protecting it from unpredictable weather and critters like bunnies and squirrels. Together, bunnies and squirrels have caused enough damage to my garden and seedlings that I feel it's better to protect the garden than regret it later. I made this cold frame for just $17. You can do this, or you can buy transparent plastic tote boxes. It is even better if the lid is transparent. If not, you can just flip the box and have the seedlings sit on the lid. Then cover it up with the transparent box upside down. I will link all these supplies in description. So now that you have all the supplies you need, you just need some seeds. If you are a beginner gardener, start small and start with some easy to grow plants. I will link a video with a list of easy to grow plants and another one which will tell you when to start these seeds. Check out these videos next. I will take a few seconds here to mention that a lot of work and patience goes into my videos to bring these results to you. This is true for every video on this channel. It takes months for the plants to grow, and I have to constantly care for it and capture the changes. And I finally condense it into a small video. 98% of the viewers of this channel do not even subscribe, and I won't nag you for it. But please, a simple like, a supporting comment, or a share from you goes a long way to support this channel. If you decide to subscribe, it is even better. I recently started a blog as well, so you can check it out using the link in the description below. Thank you so much for your support.